Hey y'all, it's Coach Alyssa here with Coach Nicole from Optimal Wellness and Nutrition. This week we are going to be talking about realistic expectations, progress, and a few in-betweens. The first thing is realistic expectations. And in my opinion, this is one of the most important things that you want to talk to with your clients.
With the coach about, yeah.
Yes, because some people are like, I want to lose 40 pounds in 2 months, or I want to be 200 pounds of solid muscle in a week. And it's like, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
Yep.
And it's very, very important because if you have those realistic expectations, you're actually going to stick to the journey longer because you're not going to be disappointed in 3 weeks when you don't reach what you have in your mind.
Right.
And people need to understand that all of these expectations are different per person, per lifestyle, towards their goals, towards their mindset and what they can make a priority. All of that plays into the expectations.
Yeah, we often struggle. I mean, we all want to lose 20 pounds yesterday, right? Like, who doesn't? But it's not a healthy way of doing it, A. When we do kind of dig into those fad diets or those quick fixes, 9 times out of 10, most of that weight you're losing is muscle mass. Muscle mass is going to go much quicker as an energy source than body fat. So regardless on what that number on the scale says, if it goes down and you've starved yourself for 6 weeks, the weight that you're primarily probably taking from your body is muscle mass, which then leads you really to a much unhealthier person, because if your ratio of body fat to muscle mass is higher, then you're really technically a more unhealthy person just at a lighter weight. So we have to have realistic goals and realistic measurable goals for your situation, your lifestyle, your external inputs on your life, family, job, workouts, activity levels, even like activity around your home. Do you have a large home with a large land? Do you do a lot of stuff, or do you live in an apartment? Do you have any of those external factors? They can all be different for everybody.
Yes. It all kind of works in a circle. That's what I tell my clients too. Like you can talk in circles because they all kind of work together.
It all intertwines. And we don't want you to compare yourself to somebody else because everybody's different.
Oh, everyone's different. It doesn't matter if you have a twin. You can have a twin with the exact same body, with the exact same history, but maybe one twin has an active job and the other twin has
or the other twin has doggies.
Yes, because they make you very, very active.
Yes.
But those little things matter, or like what you're willing to put as a priority to you. Like for me, my health and fitness is a priority, so I'm going to spend time on that versus maybe scrolling social media or watching movies.
Yeah.
It all really just boils down to like what's a priority to you. And for some people, maybe a priority is being extremely lean. If that is your priority, then there's some
There's
things
going to be sacrifices to be made.
Yes.
Yep.
Not saying that everyone has to make sacrifices because honestly, a lot of this is very simple. Yeah. But for a lot of people, like you just need to understand that those realistic expectations come along with sacrifices or come along with changes, and it's different for every person, for every time in your life too. Like just because in the past this X, Y, and Z worked, well, maybe now you have a kid.
You're different.
Now,
you're older.
You're older. You have a job, a desk job.
Yep.
You don't have dogs that are keeping you active. Like all of those things come into play, and a lot of that has to do with talking to your coach. Like your coach is going to be able to tell you, and if they don't tell you,
you got a new coach.
Yeah,
hire us.
Yes, but it's just those things like you need to understand the full spectrum. Like you're trying to get from point A to point B, but maybe your journey is going to look different than what like your journey looks like. And understand that along the way, you're going to have to make some things a priority. And that can be financially, it can be mentally, time-wise, physical, whatever. You just kind of have to like go with the flow of like what your coach is telling you because they should be able to lay it out.
Yeah, and anything that's worth doing, it takes some effort. Like you got to put in some effort towards those goals. Like you said, whether it's time, whether it's financial output, whether it's switching things around with your partner, sharing different duties in the home so that you can go to the gym. Or you switch your workouts to the morning so that you can actually get them done, or switching them out to the evening so that, or maybe those workouts aren't working for you anymore because of your time constraints and you got to You just have to go to steps, and you just got to get steps. Maybe if something does change, you need to go from, maybe you were in a muscle building phase and like your job changes and you don't have the time anymore. Maybe it needs to be more of like a fat loss phase then, and you go to steps.
Yes.
So all those timelines and those things, they may change depending on something that might change in your life too. And it's important to trust your coach to walk you through those changes. And they're not negative. They're just different.
Yes. I think another thing too, along the lines of like realistic expectations, is social media.
Yeah.
That one is very hard because I'll have people send me certain people that they're like, I want to look like this
that.
person. And it's like, okay, well, you're 5'2".
Yeah.
She's 6'2".
Yeah.
So that your body's not going to look the same. Or they are 20 and you're 65.
Right. And maybe fitness is their job. Like if they're on Instagram, it's certainly a possibility that lifting is what they do for a living.
Yes. On top of that, there's filters.
Yeah.
There's lighting. There's angles.
Yeah.
Like they know all of those things that I guarantee they don't look like that in person. Like when you go to Lowe's or something like that, what does the average human look like? And it's
and I spot the people when they're like super fit because I appreciate that.
Yes.
It doesn't happen that often where you see like super like, oh, that person really puts in a lot of work.
Yes.
In the wild. Like you see it
You
see it all over Instagram. Like every reel you see is that.
Yes.
But like you said, in reality, normal people don't look like that on an everyday basis. It's mostly filters.
Yeah.
It's mostly angles. It's mostly lighting and,
or it's like,
and like 20 takes. Maybe they've taken that picture 1,000 times and they pick out the best one.
Yes. Or it's just someone who actually puts in all of the work.
Yeah, exactly. And that is something they do all the time.
And that's okay, but most 9 times out of 10, they are the people that aren't having pizza on Friday night
It's your
with
average
their family.
person, yeah.
Like they're not they're not the
Right,
average
they're
person.
making more sacrifice than your average person.
Yes, and I feel like a lot of people don't understand the amount of work that it takes to be that lean all the time, or people don't understand the amount of like minimal work it takes to be healthy.
Yeah.
Like
it can be very minimal. Steps, sleep, fruits and veggies, protein,
water.
Yeah.
If you hit those markers every single day, you're going to be a very extreme.
Yeah, even if you don't count macros or count calories, those should be non-negotiables for every human being.
Yes. But all of that to say, we just want to make sure that y'all have realistic expectations when it comes to your body, your timeline, your life, your external factors like she was talking about, like stress, work, and all that stuff. And we want to make sure that you're not comparing yourself to someone else. And sometimes you can't even compare yourself to past you.
Right.
You also need to understand that if you're not making your health and fitness a priority, then it's going to kind of fall to the back burner. It's going to fall to the back burner. And you kind of have to shuffle things around, realize what's most important to you, realize what you're willing to give up or not give up, and then realize where in your schedule or your finances or like even just your mental capacity that you can move things around in order to support great progress.
What your goals, And, we are there for you to discuss these timelines, to discuss the mindset, to discuss the goals, and if they're logical, if they're doable. Maybe let's talk about something else. Maybe we need to be in a different phase because you're in a different phase in your life or you're in a different phase in your job. So that's, we want you to utilize us and trust us to help walk you through those realistic expectations and the mindset.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks. That's the tea.